Hi curious people, Maudia Yunda here. Welcome again in my book list di mana aku sharing kisi-kisi menarik dari buku-buku yang aku baca. Dan dari semua isi buku itu aku akan sharing 3 insights yang personally menarik banget buat aku.
Hi curious people, Madhya Indah here. Welcome again in my book list, where I share interesting latest of the book I have read, and from all the content of the book, I will share 3 insights which are personally very interesting for me.
Hari ini kita akan membedah buku The Originals by Adam Grant.
Today, we will break down book on Originals by Adam Grant.
Adam Grant adalah seorang psikolog dan penulis Amerika yang saat ini menjadi profesor di Wharton School of UPenn, and he specializes in organizational psychology.
Adam Grant is an American psychologist and author, currently professor at the Wharton School of UPenn, and his specialist in organizational psychology.
So super cool person, dan di buku ini dia menggunakan banyak riset, kisah nyata, pokoknya contoh-contoh gitu ya, menjelaskan kenapa sih successful innovators or originals bisa berhasil ataupun gagal.
And in this book, he uses a lot of research on true stories or example that explain why successful innovators or originals succeed or fail.
And I learned so much from this book. I learned how to think originally. Aku belajar gimana sih caranya meningkatkan potensi aku sebagai a successful innovator.
And I learned so much from this book. I learned how to think originally. I learned how to increase my potential as a successful motivator.
Insight pertama, procrastination is not a bad thing. Menunda itu belum tentu buruk ternyata. Dan ini tuh sebenarnya lumayan mengagetkan ya, karena kan kita sering banget dikasih tahu kalau menunda itu pokoknya jangan deh, it's such a bad thing. And we have to do things then and there. We have to do things now.
The first insight is that procrastination is not a bad thing. Procrastination is not necessarily procrastination is not necessarily a bad thing, and this is actually quite surprising because we are often taught that delaying is not such a bad thing, and we have to do things then, there, there, now.
Ditambah lagi, hampir setiap buku self-help yang aku baca, itu selalu bilang orang-orang sukses itu nggak pernah menunda. Tapi ternyata di buku ini ada banyak momen-momen jenius yang berasal dari penundaan.
Plus, almost every self-help book I read, I always says that successful people never procrastinate, but it turned out that in this book there are many moments of genius that come from procrastination.
So for example, kata-kata I have a dream karya Martin Luther King itu sebenarnya hasil improvisasi. Dan alasan kenapa sih bisa improvisasi? Itu ternyata karena Martin Luther King was not that ready. Baru mulai nulis pidatonya malam sebelumnya. Dan karena itu justru Martin Luther King lebih terbuka untuk ide-ide baru.
So, for example, Martin Luther King's final words, I have a dream, were actually improvised, and the reason why he was able to improvise was because Martin Luther King was not that ready, just started writing his speech the night before, and because of that, Martin Luther King was more open to new ideas.
So, menurut Adam Grant, improvisasi itu menunjukkan bahwa penundaan kadang-kadang justru memberikan ruang bagi otak manusia untuk mengembangkan ide-ide lain yang cemerlang. karena kita justru lebih terbuka gitu dengan ide-ide baru yang bermunculan mungkin lebih secara spontan.
So, according to Adam Grant, improvisation shows that procrastination sometimes actually gives space for the human brain to develop other brilliant ideas because we are actually more open to new ideas that appear, maybe more spontaneously.
So, implikasinya mungkin kita harus memanfaatkan penundaan sebagai strategi. Pada saat kita nyari ide, di situ kita bertahap ya, berjalan sambil membuka otak kita kepada ide-ide baru.
So, the implication is that maybe we should use procrastination as a strategy when we are looking for ideas. There we will gradually walk while opening our brains to new ideas.
Another example adalah Leonardo da Vinci, yang ternyata adalah sosok yang lumayan suka menunda. Jadi lukisan Mona Lisa itu memerlukan waktu 16 tahun untuk akhirnya selesai. Dan in that time, Da Vinci itu bereksperimen dengan ilusi optik dan teknis melukis lainnya. Dan karena bereksperimen, ia kembali ke Mona Lisa dengan pola pikir dan ide baru yang berbeda. Dan hasilnya, as you all know.
Another example is Leonardo da Vinci, who seems to be a figure who likes to procrastinate, so the Mona Lisa painting took 16 years to finally finish. And in that time, Da Vinci was experimenting with optical illusion and other painting technique. And because of experimenting, he returned to Mona Lisa with the mindset and new diverse ideas, and the result you all know.
Insight nomor 2 yang gak kalah mengagetkan, quantity of ideas is important. Jumlah ide itu penting. Menurut Adam Grant, semakin banyak ide yang kita produksi, semakin besar kemungkinan untuk meningkatkan kualitas ide kita. And that's interesting, karena banyak banget orang yang bilang quality over quantity. Tapi menariknya dalam hal ide, kuantitas dan kualitas itu sama pentingnya.
Insight number 2, which is no less surprising quantity of ideas, is important. The number of ideas important according to Adam Grant. The more ideas we produce, the more likely it is to improve our quality of life. And that's interesting because a lot of people say quality over quantity. But interestingly, in the idea of quality and quantity is equally important.
Hal ini didukung oleh penelitian dari psikolog yang menemukan bahwa individu-individu nih yang kita anggap kreatif atau inovatif umumnya nggak selalu menghasilkan ide yang lebih baik, tapi mereka menghasilkan lebih banyak ide daripada yang lain. So interesting, right? Karena mereka punya banyak sekali ide, maka kemungkinannya lebih tinggi untuk mereka mengembangkan ide-ide yang brilian. Ada contoh nih dari buku.
This is supported by research from psychologists who found that individuals who are considered creative or innovative generally don't always come up with better ideas, but they generate more ideas than others. So interesting, right? Because they have a lot of ideas. They are more likely to develop brilliant ideas. Here is an example from the book.
Pablo Picasso. Picasso kan terkenal dengan beberapa karya seni ya, tapi nggak banyak yang tahu kalau portfolionya tuh sebenarnya ribuan. Patung, lukisan, gambar, puluhan ribu gitu. Jadi banyaknya karya-karya Picasso itu akhirnya melahirkan beberapa ide-ide berkualitas yang mendorongnya ke kesuksesan.
Pablo Picasso is famous for several works of art. Yes, but not many knows that his portfolio is actually thousands of sculptures, painting, tens of thousands of drawings. So many Picasso's work eventually gave birth to some quality ideas that propelled him to success.
Berarti nih, sebaiknya kita jangan hanya berfokus pada beberapa ide berkualitas aja. Malah kita harus menghasilkan ide sebanyak mungkin.
This means that we should not just focus on a few quality ideas. Instead, we should generate as many ideas as possible.
Menurut Adam Grant, kita harus memberi waktu bagi ide-ide untuk datang juga. Oleh karena itu, kita jangan mudah menolak ide atau memaksakan ide apapun juga. We have to stay open so that we can produce as many ideas as possible.
According to Adam Grant, we have to give time for ideas to come true. That's why we should not easily reject ideas or force any ideas. We have to stay open so we can use as many ideas.
Insight ketiga, and one of my favorites, mencoba bidang baru itu penting. Ada satu studi besar yang dibahas di bukunya, di mana mereka membandingkan para ilmuwan pemenang Nobel Prize dengan rekan-rekan mereka yang berprestasi juga tapi nggak memenangkan Nobel Prize.
Third insight, and my favorite, trying new fields is important. There is one big study discussed in this book where they compared Nobel Prize winning scientists with their colleagues who did too but didn't win the Nobel Prize.
Jadi studi ini tuh trying to identify apa aja sih skills atau personality yang membedakan para pemenang Nobel Prize ini. Dan apa aja yang membuat karya mereka itu bisa ke next level. Awalnya aku nih langsung berasumsi, ini pasti karena mereka lebih rajin, kerja lebih keras, atau lebih sering menghabiskan waktu di lab gitu kan. Tapi ternyata sebaliknya, and this is so shocking.
So, this study tries to identify what are the skills or personalities that distinguish the Nobel Prize winners and what makes their work go to the next level. At first, I immediately assumed that this must be because they work harder or more often, spend time in the lab, but it turned out otherwise. This is so shocking.
Mereka menemukan bahwa itu tidak terjadi sama sekali, but actually yang membedakan adalah kecenderungan para ilmuwan untuk mencoba bidang-bidang lain. Jadi pemenang hadiah Nobel biasanya terlibat dalam musik, seni, kerajinan, menulis, atau some theatrical arts.
They found that it didn't happen at all, but that what really made the difference was the tendency of scientists to try other fields. So Nobel Prize winners were usually involved in music, arts, craft, writing, or theatrical arts.
And this is super interesting, it's super unexpected. Dan walaupun kita tetap harus careful, correlation doesn't always equal causation. Tapi paling enggak, kita bisa mikir orang yang memiliki minat yang bervariasi mungkin bisa melihat dari sudut yang berbeda. Dan ide-ide atau inovasi-inovasi dari bidang tersebut itu bisa mereka bawa juga ke karya mereka yang sedang mereka jalani sekarang.
And this is super interesting and super unexpected. And although we still have to be careful, correlation is not only equal conversation, but at least we can think that people with varied interests might be able to see from different angles and ideas or innovation from the field that they can also bring to their work which they are doing now.
And now, so what? How do we put the book into action? Menurut aku, insight yang pertama yang soal penundaan itu agak tricky ya. Karena nggak semua hal di dunia ini tuh bisa kita tunda. There are deadlines in life. Tapi mungkin untuk project-project kreatif atau hal-hal yang more idea based, mungkin akan aku beri ruang lebih banyak gitu ya dengan penundaan tadi supaya bisa semakin matang.
And no, so what? How do we put the book into action? I think the first insight about procrastination is a bit tricky because we can't postpone everything in this world. There are deadlines in life, but maybe for creative project other than the idea base, maybe I'll give them more space. Yes, with the delay so that it can be better.
Finally, I just want to say that I really appreciate this book karena benar-benar membuat aku bertanya tentang asumsi-asumsi aku yang lama. Dan aku paling suka kalau misalnya ada something that challenges the way that I think because then I know that I'm growing. So anyways,
And finally, I just want to say that I really appreciate this book because it really makes me wonder about my normal assumption. And I like it best for if, for example, there is sometimes there's a challenge the way that I think then because I know that I'm worthy.
thanks for listening, curious people. If you want me to read a book and share with you my favorite insights, kasih book recommendations di komen di bawah. I definitely read them. Dan jangan lupa untuk subscribe and turn on notifications to make sure that you don't miss any of my videos. Bye!
So, anyways, thanks for listening, curious people. If you want me to read the book and share to you my favorite insight, put your book recommendation in the comments or selection below. I definitely read them and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notification to make sure that you don't miss any of my video. Bye bye.